Okay, okay. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Let's see what is going on with the Diddy case. I assumed she should be wrapping up her testimony soon. I'm talking about Casey Ventura, cornerstone of the government's case against Diddy. We're still on prosecution side. The defense hasn't had a chance to cross yet, so let's see. Let's catch up. Let's catch up. I think she should be wrapping up soon. Let's see. You know what I found very interesting is that the coverages on these updates, because there's no cameras in the court, so a lot of people are getting their updates from these live streamed. Oh, they're not they're not streamed, but they're like live updates that different news channels are giving. And it's what I find very interesting is how they are framing different aspects of what's going on in the court cases. Well, let me give you a good example. Okay, let me see. Where was this? Okay, so this is a part that they were talking about, and I just want to highlight the difference in the two different. Like this is CNN giving their account on the same thing, while the other one I'm looking at is Washington Post. Okay, so this is CNN's recount on something, and I'm gonna read what the Washington Post had to say on the exact same part. Okay, let me see. Where was it? Sorry, I'm trying to find exactly what I was talking about. But it was the part where they asked her, did she ever get physical with him? And it was very interesting, the difference. Okay, wait, it should be around here. Sorry. 'Cause I had it earlier, and then I scrolled around, and it's gone. But anyways, let's go to the Washington Post on this. So basically, Casey's recounting a time that she had a fight in an Escalade, and she said that the fight happened in the Escalade in the front with an assistant there named Roger Bonds. The names that she's dropping is actually very important because maybe they'll come back to some of these people and ask them what they saw or whatever. Okay, let's see. She said the aggression didn't end until the day they arrived at Sean Combs' residence, at which point she ran out of the car. Oh no. Okay, here. So gotta go back. Okay. The government asked Casey if she ever started a physical fight with Sean Combs. Ventura said she did. The prosecutor followed up by asking, has she ever seen injuries on Combs as a result of a fight Ventura started? Ventura said she hadn't. Okay, Jason Johnson also then asked if Ventura was injured as a result of him becoming physical. She said she had been. There would be at least a bruise. These fights would be a day's worth of recoveries. Okay. And then they object. And then the next part is she recounts a time that she initiated a physical fight with Mr. Combs as they rode in an Escalade in Los Angeles. She said she punched him in the face as hard as she could, after which his whole demeanor changed, his eyes went black, and he began attacking her. Ventura said she took shelter under the back seat of the Escalade, she said, and then she tried to cover her face as Combs stomped on it. Okay, the next part of this update. See, this is the part where Casey said the fight was in the Escalade, happened in front of the assistant and security driver named Roger Bonds. Okay, she said the aggression didn't end until they arrived at the residence. So basically, he was like for the whole car ride. And then she ran out of the car. Bonds caught her and brought her into the home. She testified. Inside, she saw her face. I didn't look like myself at all, just knots and bleeding, swollen everywhere. Okay, she recalled that she was vomiting when Combs appeared and his demeanor transformed once again. The person he switched over to during the car ride was now gone. Ventura said Combs was freaking out over her injuries, and she said he told her to sneak out the house with security and go hide in a hotel. And then she checked in the hotel that night. Okay, so that was from the Washington Post's coverage of that. And then on CNN, they wrote on that same line of questioning, this is their update on that. Let's see. I think I found it. Okay, here's CNN's coverage reporter on that same incident. Okay, their headline was, "I was shocked." Ventura testified about the first time she said Combs was ever violent with her. Okay, Casey Ventura was now testifying about the first incident of violence with Sean Diddy Combs, which happened in the first few years of their relationship. Ventura said she was out to dinner and she saw Combs flirting with somebody else. Another person saw that Ventura had noticed, and she just shrugged her shoulders, she testified. When they got in the car after dinner, he hit me in the side of my head and I fell over to the floor of the car. Ventura said his security and driver were also present in the car. I was shocked. I didn't necessarily understand what happened and why he did so angrily. Why he was so angry, except for a little bit. He said I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. This font is so small. Let me make this bigger. I can't read anything. Okay. I was just shocked and I didn't necessarily understand what happened and why he was so angry, except for a bit. He said, as he was hitting me in the car, she said, and I just went home and kind of hid after that. Okay, you see how like this is part of the same update, and like I read earlier from the Washington Post, like they're like CNN is leaving out a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and this is still part of CNN's update to this. Okay, Casey was describing another time Sean Diddy Combs was violent with her. She said, after the party in a Los Angeles club, Combs called her names. Ventura said she drunkenly punched him in response, which prompted Combs to beat her and stomp on her in the Escalade. When we got to the house, she said she jumped out of the car and tried to run down the street, but Combs' security guards eventually caught up with her and brought her into the house. Ventura said she finally looked at her face once she was at Combs' house and she didn't recognize herself, just knots and bleeding, swollen and everything. I looked horrible, she said. See, so CNN left out the part where Diddy came in and it was like apologetic, which I don't know. I thought that's an interesting tidbit to that. Sorry if I'm like reading crazily. The font on these things are so small. Okay, so I thought that was very interesting that the reporters are both in there from different media outlets, and they're reporting on it differently. So it's good to kind of go through a flip back and forth, I guess, on both sides to try to see what is different and what is not. from the Washington Post, this one though, it looked like, I guess what I like about CNN's is that they give like big bullet points, headlines on each update, so you kind of have an idea what it's about. On Washington Post, they're just like blocks of messages. Let me see if I can show you guys what it looks like. They look like, this is Washington Post, and this is CNN. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so this is what the Washington Post ones look like. They're just like blocks of text of the whatever the reporter is summarizing what is going on in the court case. And this is what the CNN's look like. CNN's has like a like kind of like an overview of what's going on, and then they have what happened. But what I thought that was very interesting is how in CNN's coverage of what was going on, they left out the part where he came in all apologetic. But keep in mind, I mean, I guess you gotta give these guys a break. They're literally in there and they're trying to like type up what's going on as it's happening. And that's very hard. Let's see. But I also noticed that CNN's faster. All right. Where were we? Ooh. This is Ventura says she didn't have the resources to leave Combs after he beat her. Okay. So basically we're getting to the point where why she didn't just leave. I know a lot of people on the internet are saying, she sure enjoyed, like, again, I'm not saying this. I saw these comments on the internet. They're saying that she stayed with him for 10 years and enjoyed all the, basically enjoyed the vacations, the glam life. And now that it's over, that's when she's coming out. I don't know. That is the point. That's something you can make. I don't know. I've seen that before. Because she's saying she didn't have the resources to leave him. But I don't know. We've seen, there's lots of stories where you can start your life over. So I don't know. Is that really a argument? Let's see. So basically, let's see. Why didn't she just leave him? Okay. Casey testified about what happened after she said Diddy Combs beat her following the party in the Los Angeles club. Ventura said that Combs told her she needed to sneak out of the house and go to security and stay in the hotel. Okay. She testified that she snuck into the hotel, covered up because no one else can see me like that. Ventura said that she wanted to stay at Combs' house instead of going to a hotel, but Combs wouldn't allow her. She told Combs and his staff that she wanted to leave the hotel where she had been staying for about a week. Okay, so basically she's been in there for about a week. But Ventura also said that she didn't feel like she could leave, and she didn't think it was safe for her to do so. I didn't have the resources I needed to get out and move. I needed to get out and not have anyone stop me, she said. I understood Sean's capabilities, his access to weapons and threats that he made prior to that. Okay, she said her mother read a description of an incident online that didn't include her name and reached out to see if it was about her. I didn't tell my mom the truth because I was ashamed. And I also feel like at that point I didn't know what was going to happen. Okay, interesting. But that's not really about her not having the resources. So I don't know. I don't know. These headlines. I got tricked, guys. I got tricked. That was not what that was about. That was not what that was about. All right, let's see what Washington Post says. Let's refresh. 2 minutes ago, Casey was now being asked about Kid Cudi, a rapper she had mentioned in her 2023 lawsuit against Sean Combs, when she claimed that Combs threatened to blow up Kitty's car in a fit of jealousy. According to the lawsuit, Kitty's car exploded in his driveway a short time afterwards. Things happen. Let's see. Ventura said she dated Kitty, whose legal name was Miss Gotti. Okay, for a short period in 2011, with her relationship with Sean Combs was on and off. Combs found out when he went through her phone during a freak off in Los Angeles. Okay. She said he found an email between Ventura and one of Miss Gotti's scaffers. Okay, that mentioned bringing Ventura's toiletry bag to Miss Gotti's home. Ventura said Combs put a wine bottle opener between his fingers and lunged at her, and she managed to escape. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I do remember seeing that in the news about Kid Cudi's car. I mean, that's where that arson charge comes in. So I wonder if they're going to bring Kid Cudi into this, because they are charging him with arson. And I guess that would go back to the racketeering charge that they got him with down the road. I mean, like I said, that's the main thing that he needs to worry about, is the trafficking and the racketeering charge. I mean, that's literally what he's being charged with. A lot of this other stuff is just fluff. Huh, interesting. How come on CNN they don't have anything about the Kid Cudi stuff? Oh, here we go. Let's see what's the difference. Okay. On CNN, their bullet point summary on that whole segment was Ventura testifies that Combs lunged at her with a wine bottle opener, which he found out that she was dating Kid Cudi. Okay, so they're writing Sean Diddy Combs learned about Casey Ventura was dating another man during a freak off in 2011. Okay, and then they highlighted that Combs lunged at her with a wine bottle opener with his fingers. Okay, I'm trying to imagine, like, okay. Okay, she managed to escape the freak off. Okay. Oh, but they have a little more into it, because on Washington Post they kind of left it at she escaped. On CNN they had it as she escaped, and then she calls Kid Cudi on a burner phone to come pick her up. Interesting. Okay. And then Ventura said after speaking with one of Combs' employees, she went over to Combs' house to talk things over and tried to resolve the situation, but he was irate. He told me about the videos he was going to release, and he was going to hurt Scott and I, she said, adding that the videos were referring to were one of the freak-offs. Okay. I mean, I'm trying to put myself, a lot of times what I like to do is put myself in, like, the other person's state of mind, and you kind of like, imagine you're Diddy, and like, a person of his stature likes to be in control. And what we've noticed from covering this so far is he's not that much different than a lot of people that are usually in that position. They like to be in control of their situation and everything at all times. So him finding out that she was with Kid Cudi while he was Like literally. Okay, think about it from his point of view. Okay, I from what do we learn about Diddy? He loves these freak offs. It's like literally every other day. He's something. It has to happen no matter what. Rain or shine, the freak off is happening. That's one thing that we learned from this as well. And keep in mind, innocent or guilty, we're always going to remember Diddy for these freak offs from now on. That he's not going to escape the baby oil memes or whatever. That's forever. But the other thing we learned is that he loves these freak offs a lot, a lot. It doesn't matter what's going on. It has to happen, no matter what. So imagine you're Diddy, right? And you're the thing that you love most in the world are these it is this event that has to happen every day, multiple times a day, 4 times a day, right? How does he get anything done? Now I'm thinking about it. If this happens every other day for like a big chunk of the day, how does he get anything done? Anyways, so you're in the middle of one of these sessions, and you're just like, oh, there's a kiddie pool of oil, warm, hot oil over there, and you get bored. Like there's setup period, and you just pick up the phone, and then oh, you realize it's Casey's phone, and you just gotta go through it, and then it's like, oh, Kid Cudi, day or night, Kid Cudi, Mr. Solo Dolo. Why is Mr. Solo Dolo on Casey's phone? And then you like look into it, and you're like, ah, and then, and then he gets angry, and then you grab the nearest thing. I guess was a wine opener. The cork. I'm pretty sure it's the corky kind, the old school kind, right? With the screwy, and you kind of just like, whoa, and then she runs out. Yeah, you would be mad. Like, you would be mad. I don't know. I don't know. If I was Diddy, you would definitely be mad. Uh, if you found out that she was with Mr. Solo Dolo, and then you ever get so mad where you're like, you're just gonna burn everything down. That's probably that's probably what he has these tapes for. Where he's like, you want to, he probably wants to send them to Kid Cudi and be like, this is the kind of girl you're with right now. Look how shiny she is. Okay, so I could totally see that. Okay, jury didn't have much of a reaction from the pictures. I guess they showed him a bunch of pictures. Um, but then again, that's normal. Usually, I don't know. Jury people are usually very like. Okay. Okay, this is. Okay, well, I'm looking at Washington Post and see what's their spin on everything. They didn't give much of an update. Their update is that they're talking about an email that she wrote to her mom while she was going back for a Christmas holiday, and she wrote under her an alias Veronica Bang, and then she told her mom that Sean has been threatening to release explicit videos of her, threaten her and Kid Cudi, and she said Combs told her he would be out of the country when he retaliates against him. Okay, so that's big. That's pretty key. That goes back to the racketeering thing, because he told her that he's going to be away, and basically saying that he's going to have henchmen mess with her. So that's definitely. That's something. That is something. That is something. Okay, so let's see. What does CNN have? Okay, they're on break. Okay, so they were shown images of the freak offs. I guess they couldn't play the videos. I guess so they're showing them pictures. Okay, I don't really care about what the CNN legal analyst says because they're not. Okay, so that's basically that. Okay, so what do you guys think so far? I do, like I said earlier in the other one, in part one, that I feel like day three is definitely going more towards prosecution side. There's more stuff that's coming out that's hinting at what Diddy's being charged with. Day two, day one felt like was more for the defense. Nothing really happened during those days that I feel like they can't work around. Okay, let's see. Washington Post has an update on what she's talking about. Okay, upon arriving at her home for Christmas in 2011, Casey had photos taken of her showing her bruises on her buttocks and her thigh. As a result, she said of her visiting Combs' house to try to resolve his jealousy over her relationship with Kid Cudi. Okay, Ventura said that she told her mom about the physical violence, but not about the freak offs. She couldn't hurt her like that. She said, I was also terrified. It's not normal. Okay, so that's from Washington Post. Let's see what does. Huh, interesting. CNN has it that they're still on break, but Washington Post posted an update like 1 minute ago. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Okay, what time is it? Oh yeah, sorry about that. I gotta get going. Got a few errands to run. I want to try to stay updated, and I'm gonna give a recap at the very end after everything comes out of the day. I don't think we're gonna get to a cross today, so I guess all of tomorrow will be the cross. We'll see how that goes. See you guys later.